Welcome back, everybody. I have got Kingsley Ndewo, who's a developer, and he helped bring to life Tafsiri app. If you're just joining us, we've been talking about apps that are having a great social impact, and Tafsiri seems to be doing an amazing job so far. So welcome, Kingsley.
Thank you.
Right, so tell me about Tafsiri. Can you explain it to someone who may not have come across it before? What is Tafsiri?
Okay, so Tafsiri is basically an app that does translations, but the unique thing is that we focus on Kenyan languages. Eventually, we want to become a repository for African languages. Okay. If you go to Google Translate, for example, you'll find that you're able to translate between English and very many European languages, but for African languages you'll find a handful. So you won't find Kikuyu, Kalenjin or something like that there. Maybe you'll find Swahili and Afrikaans, but you won't find many. So Tafsiri is essentially filling that particular gap, so that some of these African languages can be digitized. And that way we can be able to have a lot of what's happening on the internet can be accessible to people who only understand those languages.
And I love what is also happening is essentially you're preserving the languages, because with the new generations and globalization, it seems like fewer and fewer people are getting to learn and understand and master their mother tongue. So this provides them with the opportunity to do so. So how exactly does the app work? If I was to log on, how does it work?
So basically, right now, we are in the process of developing a lot of the features because translation apps are not that easy to build, because you have to collect a lot of language data. And when you're collecting this language data, you have to have someone who's doing the primary translation, and you have to have someone who's checking to see that it's correct, right? So it's taken us some time, but what we have currently translates words. So you can enter an English word, you get the equivalent in a Kenyan language. We have a bunch of them already.
How many
live.
languages?
Right now, I think we have 7 on the app, but more are being worked on as we go along. We've also introduced phrases, so you can translate also phrases. Yeah, so the roadmap is essentially to get to a point where someone can take lessons on the app and understand a particular language, because just to speak on the issue of preservation, there are a lot of languages that are actually going extinct, and a good number are in Africa. So some examples would be Suba. Suba is a language that is endangered. Suba is a language of a community that lives in Nyanza.
And that's a Kenyan?
Yes, it's a Kenyan language. Yeah.
Suba.
Yes. So because the population of the Suba people is small, and they live with the Luo people, then a lot of them now speak Luo. And so Suba is an endangered language. The same thing is happening with a language called Yakunte, which again is being swallowed by Maasai.
That is so fascinating. I mean, you're bringing up languages that I didn't even know existed. So again, thank you for developing this app. So, and I also really like the idea of it being a way to sort of teach yourself, because I find that a lot of times parents don't even know the language, and so how do you even pass it on? But if you have the app, then it's a good place to start. Do you have, when it's being translated, is it just the word written there, or is there someone saying the word for pronunciation's sake?
We're working on audio and images. Yeah, but at the moment we wanted to get something out first, so that part of the process is something called crowdsourcing, where it's like Wikipedia. We put the primary data on the app, but we allow the general public to also contribute in terms of people are able to, if a particular translation is not there, people are able to add it or suggest, and then others can vote. So like this one is correct, so that eventually a translation which has a good number of votes is accepted as, you know, this is probably correct. So in that way, we're able also to reduce the burden of you know, going through all that data.
Of curating the information,
exactly.
because then the people are part of that process.
Yeah.
Genius, I love it. So I know that this idea was conceptualized in 2010. I mean, we're 2019 now. What was the process like of developing this app and trying to bring this to life?
Well, personally, I run a tech company, and I've been running it since 2008 actually. So Tafsiri is one of the projects that I've worked on in addition to others, and it's taken long first because you have to also do other stuff, you know, to keep the lights on and whatnot. And at the same time, it's not that easy to get people to do the translation.
Right.
Yeah, because you see, like we have a collection of English words, around 60,000 words. So that's like a large chunk of the English lexicon, let's call it that.
Yeah.
So giving someone 60,000 words and telling them, you know, write down the Kalenjin equivalents, right?
Yeah.
And then you see the other challenge that we had was that if you look at a language like Luya is not one language. It's there is Maragoli, and so on, right? Kalenjin also has Marakwet and Nandi and so on, which are mutually intelligible, but there's some differences. They're like dialects, right? So you have to get someone who speaks and understands a specific version, get them to translate, you know, within that 60,000 words, and then get someone else to check to make sure that this is correct. So it's a very, very intensive process. Yes. So that's why I'm saying it's still ongoing.
Yeah.
And we have the app on the Play Store.
Yeah. Google Play Store.
Google Play Store.
Yeah.
So, you know, people can check it out and so on. And on the back end, we keep adding words, we keep adding translations. So you don't like have to download a new version of the app. You just have the app and you'll just find new data.
Yeah. So can someone like me participate in the process of identifying? I mean, I don't know how many Meru words I'd be able to incorporate into the app, but have you opened it up now to the public? Yeah,
that's not actually on the app, that's on the website. There's a companion website.
Okay.
And on the companion website, there's a tab that says participate.
Oh, so it is open to the public.
Yes. You can essentially sign up and say, I want to, you know, to help out with this, right? And then you can begin to just find words that you know and translate those. Because what we actually want to focus on is the languages that are, you know, almost going extinct, right? Like the one I mentioned, the Akunte, there are only 7 people who speak it, and they're all over 70. So you see...
Wait a second. Only 7 people
Yes.
in the world.
Yes. And they're all above 70. So you see...
How did you even find that language?
You know, when we're doing an app like this, we have to do a lot of research on Kenyan languages, because we're starting with Kenyan languages first of all. We had to put the more common ones in the app first to get, you know, like a good number of users. Right. But, you know, the focus is also on trying to, you know, eventually reach out to these people, these people who speak languages that are very rare, and try to see how, you know, someone can sit with them and digitize all that.
So are you in the process of doing that now with Yakunte, with the 7?
We're planning on that. Yeah,
oh, you bet. You got hello. Let me tell you, Kingsley,
time.
There's not much. Like
I understand.
7 and all over 70.
Yeah.
That is so fascinating. I mean, first of all, it's just incredible that you're doing this. And again, it goes back to preserving this and the fact that it wasn't there before. It just feels like, it feels ridiculous that we have ways of translating French and German, Spanish, even Swahili, but we don't really delve deep into the different languages that live within our borders. Do you know how many languages there are in Kenya?
I'm not sure, so
okay.
I won't.
You're not going to say,
yeah.
But I mean, at this rate, it sounds like there's just.
But there's quite a large number.
Yeah.
I do know that Tanzania has more.
Okay.
And you know, once we're done with Kenya, we want to do East Africa.
Into East Africa.
And then move from there.
Okay. Yeah. Is the app free, or how does it work?
Free.
Okay.
It's free. It's it has ads,
okay.
but it's just like under the translation results, there's just a small panel where there are ads.
Okay.
So that's we don't intend to charge for use of the app.
And what's the user count now?
Well, we don't have so many downloads.
Okay.
It's just slightly above 50. Yeah, but obviously we are trying to do some marketing.
Yeah, and I think the more people know and understand the kind of work that goes into it and the impact that it'll have, because essentially what you're doing is making sure that these, like you said, these languages don't go extinct, because if certain people sort of die off with them, then where else do we have as a way to stamp that this was there, and to honor also the languages. So go on to Google Play Store and download Tafsiri. There's no excuses. And I love that the fact that you're also opening it up to the public. So go onto the website as well. And if you want to contribute to the different languages, so is it just a variety of languages and someone picks the one that they're conversant in, and then they start to contribute?
Yeah, that's how it works.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I love this idea. And it sounds so obvious, and yet it's not, you know, that it wasn't being done before. Mm-hmm. What is your hope for Tafsiri?
Well, I think what we would want to see is a situation where you can actually go learn a Kenyan language the same way, because these days you find people download apps and learn Italian or Spanish, or you just take a month and you're fluent in a particular language. So we want that to be available for African languages. And not just that, based on the data set that we will have on you know, like the translations, then it's even possible that when maybe there are announcements, like the SMS notifications you get from various apps or from banks and whatnot, you can choose, I want to receive mine in this particular language, rather than just English or Swahili, right? So because you see, at the end of the day, a lot of people are interacting with technology, and we have to make it more accessible by making technology accessible in many languages, right? The same way that if you go to Ethiopia, you find that a lot of what they do is in Amharic, right? And you know, like that improves accessibility there, right? So in the same way, we need to have that here.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love this idea. And again, I have to say, it feels like it's the most, how was it not there before? It feels like it should have been there ages ago, but I'm glad that you are part of the team that's bringing it to life and helping to preserve our language. So thank you. And I wish you all the best. And remember, it's a simple download. Is it on Apple Store?
No,
or
not
it's
yet.
on Google Play?
Yeah.
Simple download Tafsiri. That's all you have to do. And start learning a new language, one of the 7 that's up already. Start learning. All right, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you had a fun time on the show and that you have a few more apps to download now, 3 to be exact. Download them, support Kenyans who are doing great things, whether it's making travel more accessible to people or healthcare or language. Support Kenyan techies. Thank you to Myra Residences by Trianum for lending us your fabulous space. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Keep it locked on NTV for now. Bye. Kwaheri. Adios.